It's good to see you guys. What we're going to do today, I talked with Teacher Tiang from Daniel Education Center, and he was saying it might be helpful to go over some vocabulary words that are difficult to pronounce, coming from the Burmese language. And so we'll go over a few words like that. I'll try and keep it kind of speedy and quick, so I don't take too much of the time talking. And then we can have a we'll have a speaking prompt afterwards, and you'll get to share. I don't know that everyone will be able to share because there's just so many students, but I've been trying to randomly pick students so that hopefully we all get a turn to share at some point. So that's kind of our agenda for this morning. Okay, I'm going to share my screen here. Oh yes, it's here, wonderful. And so you can see, Teacher Chang was saying it was hard to see last time. So I hope that this is a bigger font and you're able to see better. Unfortunately, I don't think I can like present from my Google Slides because that would make it even bigger, but I don't think I can do that. So at least I don't know how. Maybe one of y'all can teach me. So what I'm going to do is just, I've found some words. I've not made these up. Some linguists have discovered that these words are difficult to pronounce when you're learning English. So I'm just going to go over these words quickly to try and help with pronunciation. If you could keep yourself muted, that'd be great. But if you want to try out the words while I say them or those type of things, that's great. If there's ones that you don't know what they mean, or you want to have, or you have questions about them, or if you have your own words you have questions about, jot them down and I'll have a time for questions right after this, so that I can address any questions y'all have. So the first two here is beach and sheet. Beach and sheet, that SH sound and the CH sound. It's not gonna work. Weird. Okay. Flower and flower. The first one's flower like a garden, in a garden, a flower like you make bread or pastry. So flower and flower. Sorry, my thing's going the wrong way. Okay, this one's interesting. So comfortable or comfy. Comfy is just a shorter way to say it. But comfortable, it looks like comfort-able, but it's comfortable. So we kind of get rid of this O in the middle, and it's just like comfortable. So comfortable. The next one is clothes. I put here how you would like the phonetic spelling is just clothes. It looks like cloths but it's clothes. I'm gonna do this the whole time. Okay, months. Again, I put like the phonetic spelling, so it's months. So some of these THs we don't really pronounce very clearly. There's two sounds that you make with the TH. As I've learned, they're hard to say unless you're practicing them, coming from Burmese language. So TH, you put your tongue between your teeth and you either blow air and it makes no noise, like that, or you like make a vibration with your throat so it makes noise like th. And so sometimes you do the sound like the, and then sometimes you do the TH sound like thistle. So months, though, we don't really even pronounce the TH sound. It's sort of the vibrate one, but it's more like months. There's going to be three words here in a row that look very similar, but to pronounce differently, even though they're spelled almost the same way. So this one is though, like, although that happened, or even though, blah, 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 right? So though. This one is thought. So as you see, it looks like it's spelled the same way, but it's pronounced thought instead of though. And then this one is through. So O-U-G-H can make the oo, the O, or the ah sound. So though, thought, and through. The next one is drawer. It looks like drawer, but it's pronounced drawer, drawer. Going the wrong way again. Mirror. That's how you pronounce that one. Mirror. Like you look in the mirror. This one was interesting. In my last class, lots of students had trouble pronouncing desks. I had never, until I started teaching this class, I had never thought about how that's a hard sound in English to make, the SKS sound. My suggestion is to just separate the sounds and then slowly progress your speed so that it's one sound together. So desks, so it's sk and s, desks. So I'd practice that one if that's hard for you. Same thing with this, asks, asks. This one's library. Library. Often, so this one has a T in it, but you don't really pronounce the T. So it's silent, often. Subtle. This one has a B, but the B is silent. English breaks a lot of its rules. So subtle. Also, the T is not really pronounced with the T sound, with the T sound, like tiger. It's a D sound. So it would phonetically be spelled like subtle, like that. So subtle. These ones are interesting just because they sound similar a lot in English. Even English speakers get these mixed up. So sometimes even English speakers have to, you know, ask the person talking, hey, did you mean 13, 1, 3 or 30, 3, 0? So that happens sometimes. So the first one's 13 and the second one's 30. And again, if you notice in the first one, 13, you hear that T sound, but in the second one, 30, a lot of times it looks like, I should see, there's probably a rule for it of like when the T is pronounced Z. Dear, I don't know how to say your name, but you have your hand raised. Did you have a question or something to say? I could hear you.
It's the same sound as G-O-O-R, door, and D-R-A-W-E-R, door.
So D-R-A-W-E-R, and what was the first one?
D-O-O-R, door.
Drawer and yeah. Door. No, so D-O-O-R, that's one of the words, right? Yes. There's no R in the beginning, so it's just door. I'll write it up here. So D-O-O-R, so door, and then drawer, drawer. There's an R at the beginning, so drawer. Oh, yeah. Good question. I don't know how to say your name. It's A-I-K, Mayan. It goes ... but you have like a Zoom hand raised. I don't know if you have a question or not. If not, we'll just move on. So 13 and 30. Next one, similar thing. So 14, 4D, 15, 50, 16, 60, 17, 7D, 18, 80, 19, 90, and then we'll move on to the next one. So this one's fourth, adding that TH sound at the end. Fifth, sixth is hard to say. This one's interesting. So we don't really say 20. I guess if you're trying to be like really like pronounce your words really well. I lost the word of what that's called. You could say 20, but normally we just say it's 20. There's 20 apples, there's $20, so 20. Water, we don't say water. Of course, if you're British, then I do think you say water, I think. But in America, anyways, we change it to a D. I guess we're lazy. I think I was talking with my mom because one of you had asked the other day of whether British or American accent's better, and I was telling my mom about it. And she was saying that that British people just sound so much proper and they speak a whole lot better than Americans. I think Americans are kind of lazy in our pronunciations. So instead of saying water, we say water. Coffee, this one's coffee. Coffee's delicious. Refrigerator and fridge. Oh, in my last class, I told a very funny story. When I was a little kid, I'll tell it to you guys. When I was a little kid, my sisters, I have 4 sisters and a brother. So we have a big family and we all got along real well. And so we made like these little cassette tapes, like recordings, and we'd make like these shows and like jokes and things. And there was one time I was playing like this dad, and he was trying to tell his little daughter to get something out of the refrigerator, and I couldn't remember what it was. And he's supposed to be like really angry. I couldn't remember what it was. And so I was just like, put it in the refrigerator, the refrigerator. She's like, what's that? I was like, in the fridge. My family was just like, in the fridge. And so then they were laughing. Anyways, and not until a lot later, I was like, oh yeah, it's a refrigerator. So refrigerator or fridge. Hamburger is one that I guess is difficult to say. Hamburger. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So some people call dinner supper. I know my dad does. I think it's more of like a Southern United States thing. But breakfast, obviously in the morning, lunch is in the middle of the day, dinner is in the evening. This one's interesting. Even American people have to learn this one. The first one's dessert and the second one's desert. Dessert, something you eat that's sweet. Desert obviously is the type of, landscape. I'm losing all my words. I apologize. So dessert and desert, the way I learned to differentiate the two when I was a kid was there are two S's in dessert, and you want more desserts because they're delicious. And there's only one S in deserts because, deserts are cool, but not as delicious as desserts. The next one here is chocolate. So it looks like chocolate, but it's chocolate. If I were to phonetically spell it, it'd be like chocolate. Okay, I think that's all the words. The next one is just the speaking prompt. So are there any questions? I'm probably going to stop sharing my screen for a minute, and if I have to share it again, I will. For the speaking prompt, I will, but that way it's easier to see you guys, because otherwise it's hard to see you when I share my screen.
Can you answer question from the message, please?
Yes, I just saw the message. So it's fine if that's easier for you to do, to just type it in. That